Hey folks, this is week 16 of our high yield dividend account review. We're going to talk about the performance year to date. I'm going to give you a breakdown of how much I got in dividends this week. And I'm going to talk about a new strategy that I'm implementing in order to get more passive income. So make sure you stick around for that. And for those who are new, my name is Alex. This is 9 to 5 to Freedom. This channel, I document my journey utilizing high yield dividends in order to leave that 9 to 5. Okay, folks, let's hop right into it. For those who are new, this is my channel. I got 66 subscribers. Yes, almost Mr. Beast level. Make sure you check out some of this content. Some of it is funny. It's kind of within the community. If you know, you know. And then I'm doing my weekly reviews, some of the funds that I'm doing, all sorts of great stuff. So make sure you check all that out. Subscribe. Okay, so, all right, let's hop into it. S&P 500 is slightly up this week, which was a nice recovery. We had like 3 days in a row of upticks. So we were up 5.59% in the last 5 days, which is phenomenal. We are recovering. Now, tariffs, we're not out of the woods yet, right? So we know that Donald Trump postponed for 90 days on these tariffs. They will swing around on July. It's very unpredictable. We're not sure what's going to happen. He might extend it again. Maybe some deals will be made. We're not sure what's happening. But year to date, we are down 5.85%, and that's been a pretty decent recovery. So still in that bearish territory, but we'll see what happens. Okay, let's talk about the portfolio. Folks, those who are new, this is my holdings. I'll go over it really briefly. I have other videos on when I put this together, so you make sure you check those out and my rationale behind it. My largest position is in XDTE. This is from Roundhill. I invested it originally $48,500. This position is down 12% year to date, and this makes up 24.3% of my portfolio. Now, as you can see, if you compare that to the S&P 500, it is slightly more down. Now, this does pay a huge dividend, so that's to keep in mind. The next funds are something that is more conservative. We got JPQ. This fund's been around for a while. I got over 10% invested in the portfolio, about $18,500 right now on this position. So that is only down 4.95% year to date, which is really, really good. QQQI, another position that's very conservative on the NASDAQ 100 from NEOS. This one's down 5.35%. I have a 10% holding. As you can see here, 24%, 10, 10, 10. Next one's XPay from Roundhill. This one pays monthly. This is also on the S&P 500. It shoots for a 20% dividend. I got down 5.95%. SpyEye from NEOS. This is on the S&P 500. And this one is down 5.31%. Not bad. Really liking the recovery we've been seeing. Okay, let's get into some other ones. And we got BTCI. This is from NEOS. This is on Bitcoin. So you see this one's actually up because Bitcoin had a rally last week, and you can see we're actually in the green. This is good to see in my balance here. So I got I put like $9,000 in here, 9,100. I'm up at 9,200. Really good. This has a pretty good high dividend as well. Okay, we'll get into the more risky stuff. We got QDTE. This is again from Roundhill, very similar to XDT. Now I only put about a 5% position in here, so and you can see it's down more than XDTE, but it does pay a higher dividend. So we're tracking this one. We'll see how it performs. MSTY. This is on the MSTR MicroStrategy. This one's up 3.66%. That whole company is tied to Bitcoin, so that's understandable why we are so high up compared to everything else. And this makes up almost 5% of my holdings. PLTY, this is the play on Palantir from YieldMax. We are down 6.48%, and this makes up about 4% of my account. And then we're getting into the sub 3%. We got NVIDIA, small position here at 2.59%. We're down almost 18% down. SMCY, we're down 18%. I got 2.5% position. AIPI, this is from Rex Funds. This is on ETF on a bunch of AI type of companies. This one we're down 9.41%, and we have a 2.3% holding. And then some of these other ones I've held from my original account, which when I started this beginning of the year, I had about $12,000 that I've invested to play around with some of these. So I have a small position in YMAX, YMAG. I'm just tracking these, no sense of selling them. They are down 22 and 22% respectively. We got a small cash position here, and then some other ones that are sub 1% position. Not even going to get into those at all. Okay, so that's what I got. This is my account year to date. This is where I'm at. I'm sitting at $175,500. Year to date, I'm down 8.85%, about $16,000. So overall, not too bad, I would say. Considering the high dividends that we're getting, and considering that we had, the kind of a bloodbath this year. So we're going to track it. Now, for those who don't know, I do have drip off on everything except CLM and CRF. I can talk about that later, but everything else, I'm pulling the cash and I'm utilizing the cash. I'm paying some debts off, spending on whatever I need to. What I want to do really with this is I want to track this portfolio throughout the year with drip off. I want to see what my end balance is going to be, and I want to see how much I actually put in my pocket. See, the issue with drip and folks who have drip on and they're trying to track performance and all that, it gets very, very muddy. You really don't know what you're actually making or taking, and you don't know if it was better off to just invest into, let's say, the S&P 500 and forget about it. So this way, we're going to see how sustainable these dividends are and if they're going to be the path to reach that 9 to 5. Okay, all that rambling off, let's take a look here on our dividend view. We're switching screens here, and we're going to see what our predicted annual income is. It's shown right now, let me scroll here, $57.8 thousand. So almost $58,000 is what it's tracking to get us that yield on. Now, let's see if some of these got corrected. I know that XPay was showing 10%, showing 11.5%. So I know they target 20. I'm not sure why it's saying that, but we're gonna see. Okay, we're tracking. Okay, so that aside, let's take a look at week 16. I got my dividend spreadsheet. For those who hate spreadsheets, too bad. Stick through it. I don't make it boring. But we got week 16 here. Okay, so NVIDIA, first position here. We got $212.24, slightly lower than we got on week 13. We got payment from PLTY, $508, again, slightly lower than from week 13. Moving down the list, AIPI, we got $113, lower than last payment. SPY, we got $177, lower than the previous payment. BTCI, we got $211, lower than previous payment. Now, I did sell some BTCI. I took some profits, so that's expected to see why we have this position that is much lower than the one from week 12. Moving down the list here, small position in FEPI. I got whopping 86 cents. And moving into XDTE, we got $355. This is the largest payment I've ever received from XDTE. My last payment was $244, so it's over $100 more this week than the previous week. What's fun about XDTE is that it pays weekly, and we love those weekly dividends. Moving down the list, at QDTE, I have a smaller, much smaller position there. I got $59. Let's see if that's about the average. We'll average out the past three, and that would be average of 62, so slightly under the average of the last 3 weeks. RDTE's very tiny position down. I got $1.62. YMAG, YMAX, I got 15 and 26. Okay, so that totaled up. We got $1,681 this week. This is the largest payment I've got as a weekly dividend payment. Now let's average out the last 5 weeks. This is the last 5 weeks would track everything with that large investment that I did back in mid-March, which was $175,000 into this portfolio, having only 12 grand started out at the beginning of the year. So on average, over the course of 5 weeks, we have an average payment of $1,228. Okay, so if we take that average, 1,228, and we multiply that by 52 weeks, that brings us to around $63,000 and almost $64,000 in dividend potential payments. Okay, so that brings us the year annual total, and let me extract this here, to $7,100 for the year. Now, for those who are new, I did sell one of my rentals in order to have this money. This didn't come from no inheritance. I had to sell a rental. I have other real estate that I still own, but I really wanted to test this out. This seemed very lucrative. If you're in real estate investing, leave a comment below and tell me if I'm crazy or not. But I wanted to test it out myself. I see people are making money doing this. Real estate, it's great, but the payments are much, much less. So if you want to leave that 9 to 5, you do need to replace that income. Okay, so that's what I got. This is what we're sitting at year to date. Okay, let's talk about the next thing that I'm doing. All right, and I mentioned this before. I'm just going to go over it real quick from what I did yesterday on Friday. Okay, and so this is it. I'm using TradeView, this awesome platform, but basically what I'm doing, I'm going to make a separate video. I'm going to post a video on the same day. So watch this. I'll split this up. What I'm doing is I'm using the margin that's available in order to capture a small momentum. Some folks call this momentum trading. I don't have a term for it yet. I'm not really sure. But basically, this is what I'm looking. I'm looking on, this is SPY. This trades on the S&P 500. I'm looking for these type of momentums. As you can see, and I'll draw a line right here. We had a momentum play. We had a momentum play here, 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 here. Now, Friday was a very awesome day to trade because you can almost predict every single move. It just kept zigzagging up and down, up and down. And these moves right here, this isn't a lot of money. I mean, look at it right here. I got $544,000 on the, I'm sorry, not thousand, 544 bucks per share on the down low. On the up high, I have 546. So that's a $2 movement. This is not a lot of money. But let's say you can only capture $1 of this movement. Let's say you enter somewhere right here. You catch that momentum and you exit somewhere before the peak. And you only capture $1 movement. And this is exactly what I'm doing. So I'll show you this. Okay, this is what Fidelity's allow me to trade with. They're giving me $524,000 because I have a position in Fidelity with these dividends. I have 175 grand. They're letting me to day trade with over $500,000. Now, you can't hold this overnight, so I'm not crazy. I don't do that. I use the margin buying power, and I don't even use all of that. But let's say you do use all of this. Okay, we'll just give you an example. If I'm using we'll just say $190,000 just to make it round number. And we're going to divide it by the number of shares. So if we're at $544 per share, that tells me that I can buy, we'll just say 350 shares. 350 shares times $1. I didn't have to multiply that, but just so you can see, 350 bucks is what you can make in, and let's see how long this time is. We're at 10:32 a.m. And let's say if you exit right here, that's 10:40 a.m. This was an 8-minute move. How would you like to make 350 bucks in 8 minutes? If you do, please watch my next video. And we're going to call this all for today on this one. So thanks for watching. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one, folks. Thank you.